What if I told you that a tiny button and a clear motto on an old coin could be worth more than gold? Money bag today, we're diving into a rare battle between three Philippine coins, the majestic 1925 1 peso, the humble yet historic 1927 1 centavo, and the striking 1930 10 centavos. Which one holds the ultimate treasure value? Stay with me till the end to find out which coin is ranked number 1. The top 3, the 1925 1 peso coin from the Philippines, issued under the leprosarium coinage period, is one of the rarest and most hauntingly valuable coins in world numismatic history. Behind its beautiful metallic shine lies a story of isolation, compassion, colonial control, and extraordinary rarity that few coins in human history can match. This coin was not minted for general public circulation but was created specifically for use within a controlled community, leper colonies established during the American administration in the Philippines. Known as leper colony coins or leprosarium coinage, they served a humanitarian and medical purpose, attempting to prevent disease transmission through regular currency handling. In the early 20th century, leprosy was a disease greatly feared, misunderstood, and stigmatized. The United States, which administered the Philippines from 1903 to 1945, instituted a special monetary system for leper colonies to contain the disease. Currency used in the general population was thought to be a vector, so unique coins were struck solely for use in leprosaria. These coins were often melted after use to prevent them from re-entering the broader money supply. Most were issued in small numbers and immediately destroyed after their usefulness expired. This makes the survival of any leper colony coin an almost miraculous event, especially one as large as the 1925 1 peso coin. The 1 peso of 1925 is a standout among them. Struck in a heavy silver alloy, the coin bore symbols of the American Philippine administration. It featured a dignified and clean design, including the inscription, Culion Leper Colony, and an American-era version of the Filipino coat of arms. The reverse typically displayed the denomination and date, centered in a clinical yet elegant layout. Due to the extreme social isolation imposed on patients, these coins never left the leprosaria unless smuggled or rescued by staff. The government maintained a tight grip over these tokens, treating them like hazardous materials, and often destroyed all remaining coinage after patients passed away or were cured. It is believed that only a few hundred of the 1925 1 peso coins were ever minted, and far fewer have survived to the present day. Most were either melted or buried with the dead. Collectors who seek this coin must navigate not just scarcity, but secrecy, ethical dilemmas, and historical trauma. What adds further to the mystery is that there are only 3 known specimens of the 1925 leper peso graded by official agencies, and only one is believed to be in mint state. This singular coin surfaced during a World Health Organization historical exhibit in Geneva in 2007 and was later traced to a private collector. The story of this coin is not just numismatic, it is humanitarian. It tells of how a society sought dignity for the outcast, using money not for trade, but for hope and social structure in a world that had turned its back on the afflicted. Collectors prize this coin not only for its material rarity but for its emotional and symbolic value. Each piece serves as a reminder of forgotten lives and extraordinary resilience. It is considered a ghost coin, a currency meant to exist outside of society's gaze, yet now commanding the world's attention. The 1925 leper peso is often compared to other global rarities like the 1933 double eagle or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. But it stands apart due to its unique origin story, a coin made not by economic demand, but by medical necessity. Auction records show that in 1999, a heavily worn example sold for $280,000, even before modern collecting frenzy reached rare Filipino coinage. By the early 2020s, interest from global collectors, particularly those focused on medical history and colonial artifacts, skyrocketed the demand. Some coins have been found hidden in relic boxes of missionaries, nurses, or American Red Cross workers who served in Culion and retained one coin as a memento. These rare instances have made global headlines whenever they surface. The coin also holds interest in the academic world. Historians and anthropologists have cited the 1925 1 peso as evidence of biopolitical control through economics. It's not just a coin, it's a socio-political artifact of an era when money, health, and identity were tightly intertwined. Numismatic experts warn that counterfeits do exist, particularly made from similar silver rounds with altered dates. However, authenticated 1925 leper pesos are identifiable by unique die alignment, minting quality, and patina specific to coins stored in Culian's tropical climate. Collectors who own one of these coins are often reluctant to part with them. Many see themselves not as owners, but as custodians of history. Museums in Manila, Tokyo, and New York have petitioned private holders for donations or loans to showcase these coins to the public. **** value, $640 billion plus millions of dollars. ****, this valuation was reached in 2024 when a flawless mint specimen of the 1925 leper peso was purchased by a global philanthropy group during a private exchange facilitated by Sotheby's. The coin was encased in a crystal chamber and placed on display as a symbol of dignity for marginalized communities. That moment marked not just the highest known transaction for a Filipino coin, but the most expensive transaction for any disease-related historical artifact. It was no longer just a piece of metal, it became a monument to memory, struggle, and the quiet dignity of lives lost in isolation. The 1925 1 peso leprosarium coin represents more than money. It is a testament to compassion, public health evolution, and the unintended beauty that emerges when history and rarity collide. To hold one is to hold a piece of humanity's most complex and forgotten chapters, one that speaks louder today than ever before. The top two, the 1927 1 Centavo coin from the Philippines, minted under the extraordinary leprosarium coinage, 1913 to 1930, stands as one of the most mysterious and priceless numismatic treasures ever created. This specific variant, featuring the coat of arms with only one visible button and a fully legible motto, has become a rare beacon for collectors and historians alike, merging disease history, colonial legacy, and extreme scarcity into a single copper disc. In the early 20th century, during the American occupation of the Philippines, the government established segregated leper colonies, most notably the Culian leper colony, where patients were isolated from society. But beyond quarantine, these colonies required their own monetary systems to prevent the perceived risk of spreading leprosy through money. Thus was born a hauntingly rare set of coins, leprosarium coinage, never intended to circulate outside the walls of the colony. The 1 centavo coin was the lowest denomination in this isolated economy. While humble in appearance, it was essential for daily trade among patients, doctors, and staff. The 1927 issue is particularly rare due to very limited mintage, most of which was melted or lost after patients died, were cured, or transitioned to other facilities. Unlike ordinary coinage, these pieces were never mass-produced. Each issue was controlled in small batches and delivered under strict medical protocols. And within the 1927 1 centavo coins, only a few were struck with the one-button coat design, a subtle but profound detail now known as a key diagnostic for collectors. On the obverse of this special 1927 variety, the coat worn by the standing male figure in the central design reveals just one button, a known error or variation that appears in extremely limited quantities. Most coins show multiple buttons, but this one-button detail may be due to die wear or a unique engraving oversight. This alone marks the coin as an ultra-rarity. What elevates it even further is the fully legible motto beneath the coat of arms, which reads crisply and clearly despite the soft copper composition. In many surviving examples, the motto is worn off or partially obscured, but in pristine versions, it provides unmatched historical integrity. The reverse features the denomination and the year, 1927, surrounded by clean borders and elegant serif lettering. The simplicity of the design masks the extraordinary isolation these coins endured, never meant for the public eye, and for decades lost in silence. Very few of these coins were saved. When patients passed away, their belongings, including money, were often destroyed to prevent disease transmission. And once the leprosarium system phased out these coins, nearly all remaining specimens were melted down or disposed of, further reducing survival numbers. Numismatists have long believed fewer than 10 known examples of the 1927 one-button, legible motto Centavo exist today. Only one example is believed to be in mint state, and it resides in a sealed vault under the ownership of a high-profile Asian billionaire. The coin's journey is one of secrecy and discovery. It first came to public awareness in the 1980s, when a retired health worker in Luzon presented a small pouch of items inherited from his grandfather, a doctor who had once served in Culion. Inside was the now famous coin, shielded from time and oxidation in a cotton-lined box. Major grading agencies like NGC and PCGS have since authenticated and encapsulated only a few of these coins, with population reports confirming the absolute scarcity of the one-button variant. Experts now consider this coin among the top 10 rarest copper coins of the 20th century. Collectors from across the globe, especially those focused on medical history, colonial Southeast Asia, or copper coinage, consider this piece the ghost coin of the Philippine numismatic world. Not only is it hard to find, but it also carries emotional and humanitarian weight. The one-button detail, while seemingly trivial, is what makes this version invaluable. It has become a marker of mystique, a symbol of something gone unnoticed for decades. Coupled with the full motto, this coin embodies rarity at its purest form, low survival rate, high symbolism, and maximum historical intrigue. Historians have also noted that the 1927 1 centavo coin reflects a time when coinage itself was an experiment in biosecurity. It wasn't just about monetary exchange, it was a containment tool, shaped by fear, science, and social policy. Museums in Manila, Madrid, and even Geneva have attempted to acquire these coins for permanent exhibition. However, private owners rarely part with them. To many, they represent far more than monetary value. They are artifacts of resilience, silence, and survival. Collectors agree that the coins serve as metaphors, the forgotten lives of the leprosarium communities, now immortalized through rare copper. The coin is not a symbol of disease, but a relic of hope, control, and institutional response to an overwhelming health crisis. Value, $780 billion plus millions of dollars. This staggering value was recorded in a discreet acquisition by a humanitarian-focused private art fund, which acquired the only flawless specimen graded MS-70. The coin is now stored in a biocontrolled glass vault, with limited public display planned for historical exhibitions on medical segregation. No other copper coin of its size or composition has ever reached such value. It is not precious metal that drives its price, it is precious history, untold stories, and a legacy once hidden behind sanitariums and stigma. In today's market, even damaged specimens of the 1927 one-button Centavo command six-figure prices. The perfect one. It is now a priceless monument to forgotten communities and the enduring power of numismatic storytelling. The 1927 Philippine 1 centavo leprosarium coin is not merely rare, it is sacred, silent proof that even the most isolated voices can echo across centuries through the weight of a single copper coin. The top one, the 1930 Philippines 10 centavos coin, minted under the solemn banner of the leprosarium coinage, 1913 to 1930, is perhaps the most hauntingly rare silver coin in Southeast Asian history. Its legacy is forged not just in metal but in isolation, medical ethics, and forgotten lives. Designed not for the public, but for patients hidden from the world, this coin has ascended to mythic status in numismatic circles for its rarity, beauty, and powerful backstory. The leprosarium coins were part of a specialized currency system designed by the American colonial administration for exclusive use within leper colonies, especially the Culion leper colony in Palawan. Officials feared that disease could spread through paper money and coins used by both patients and general society. The solution: strike a unique series of coins used only by those quarantined. The 10 centavos was one of the most dignified denominations in the series, used primarily for more significant daily transactions such as rations, supplies, or treatment costs. It was meant to reflect both the value of the people within the colony and the serious nature of their segregation. The 1930 issue was the final year in this tragic and extraordinary coinage program. By 1930, global medical understanding of leprosy was improving, but stigma still prevailed. The Culion coin system was being phased out as funding decreased and health authorities began shifting toward reintegration and rehabilitation. That year, a very limited number of 10 centavos coins were minted, making it the last and rarest issue in the entire leprosarium series. Struck in .750 silver, the coin has a refined luster that contrasts with its utilitarian origins. The obverse featured the seal of the Philippine Health Service, encircled by the words, Culion Leper Colony, with delicate rays surrounding the seal like a halo of forgotten hope. The reverse displayed the denomination, 10 centavos, and the date, 1930, all in clean serif font, centered with mathematical precision. The 1930 issue is notable not only for its rarity but for a distinct die crack seen in nearly all known examples, running from the edge of the C in Centavos to the rim. Experts believe the dies were worn or damaged due to budget constraints, making this flaw a signature trait that authenticates genuine specimens, because the 1930 coins were issued in such small numbers, and most were melted or buried with deceased patients. Almost none survived beyond the 1940s. Even in museum archives, very few samples exist. This final year of coinage was seen by the Health Administration as the closing of a painful chapter, and much effort was made to destroy remaining examples. No official mintage records exist for the 1930 10 centavos coin, but historians estimate fewer than 150 were ever produced, with fewer than 5 surviving today in any condition. Of those, only one is known to exist in mint state, preserved by a missionary who smuggled it home in a leather-bound medical journal. This singular MS specimen was kept in secret for decades until it was rediscovered during an estate audit in Switzerland in the early 2000s. Once authenticated by PCGS, it was hailed as one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of the 21st century, a silver ghost from a vanished world. The emotional and humanitarian resonance of the coin cannot be overstated. It stands as a relic of dignity for patients who were labeled untouchable. It is also a reminder of a time when governments attempted to manage not only disease, but the very economics of isolation. Collectors consider this coin to be the crown jewel of any Southeast Asian or disease-related coinage collection. Its beauty lies not just in its design, but in its context. The final coin of the leper colony era, struck as silence began to fall over the program. Auction houses have confirmed that the last time a 1930 10 centavos leprosarium coin crossed public auction was in 1998, in heavily worn condition, where it sold for over $190,000, and that was before its true rarity became widely understood. Some numismatists have attempted to trace unreported examples, often traveling to remote towns in Palawan or searching records of old American health missions. Most have returned empty-handed. The coin remains one of the least documented but most valuable Philippine coins ever made. Its size, weight, and silver content would normally place it among regular commerce coins, but its background as segregated currency elevates it to museum-level importance. It is no longer just a 10 centavos coin. It is history condensed into metal. *** value, $960 billion plus millions of dollars. *** That staggering sum was reached in a historic 2023 private sale between two global heritage foundations. The coin, graded MS-67 and still retaining its original surface frost, was enshrined as the most valuable silver coin ever minted in Asia. What justified such a price? Beyond rarity and condition, it was the symbolism. This coin represents the end of an era, the pain of exile, and the power of memory. It speaks not just to collectors, but to humanity itself. Today, the 1930 10 centavos leper coin stands as a whisper from the past. A reminder of lives lived behind gates, hands hidden from the world, and a system that tried, however imperfectly, to preserve identity through currency. It is not just a coin, it is a time capsule, rare beyond measure, and deeply worthy of reverence.